So today on EuroMods I'm going to be changing the oil and the coolant in the 1 litre Fiesta. The main reason I'm doing this is the coolant needed changing on the 3-year service, but I didn't have time to get it done, so I'm going to try to do that today. And the oil seems to have a funny smell to it. It smells like some engine clean, maybe some fuel, so it seems like a good idea just to flush it out. Whenever they've done the service, they probably put some engine clean through it, and I'm not sure if they got it all out because it smells a bit weird. It probably is fine, but I feel like I should take it out. I'll have a little show. Oh. Yeah, if we look at the engine bay here, yeah, see inside the cat. Yeah, kind of smells like really low grade fuel, something weird. So I'm going to have to drop it all out and see how it goes. First thing you want to do is get your car on jack stands. You see down here, it's not ideal because the back of the car is sitting lower than the front, but we should be able to get 90% of it out, if not all, because the sump plug is on the back of these oil drain pans on these cars. So yeah, I found it easiest just to jack it up from the subframe and then put the axle stands underneath. Right, so the first thing we need to do is drain the old oil out, which is going to be quite difficult when the car is this low. I'm just using an old toy box. Any plastic container should be able to do it to drain your oil out, because you don't want to put it all over the floor. It will just cause you loads of headaches trying to get it off again. I think it's a 14mm at the back of the sump pan, which is this big square here. So I'm going to try and get that off and see if I can set you up in a half decent angle. Right, using a spanner didn't work. I just almost rounded off the bolt. So, tip to anyone, don't do that. Jesus. Right, we got it. Thank God for that. Put the tub underneath and just back it out. Because you guys can't really see anything at the moment. There we go. And the oil isn't too bad, it's not too hot. We let that sit up. Sit there and drain for a bit. Right, sorry about the rain noise, by the way. We're in a little tin shed here, so when the rain hits the roof, even if it's light, it sounds like a lot. First thing we're going to do now is check the O-ring on the sump plug. This one has an O-ring, not copper washers. Just make sure if there's no splits in it. Give it a clean off. Make sure there's no grit sitting there, because that will all ruin your seal. You can jump underneath now. It's just getting rid of the last few drips somehow. Put the bolt back in. Screw it up hand tight. Now I'm just going to get a rag and just wipe off any excess. Make sure there's nothing sitting. Nothing's going to drip on the floor. And we get the oil out. Look at that. That oil there is about 2,000 miles old. And that's already black as anything. And yeah, I think that's engine clean. I can smell. That's what it smells like. Which is good, because if it was fuel, it would signal that there's a big problem in here somewhere. Oh. Right, next thing we've got to do is tighten down the sump bolt. I'm sure there is proper torque settings. You're on the piss. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. Just do it down fairly tight. Now let's just wipe everything off. Make sure nothing drips on the floor. And then we'll check back here in a little while, just make sure it's not leaking or any dripping or anything before we put the new oil in. And then after we put the new oil in, we're going to have to check that. Alright, next job is to find the oil filter. The oil filter. Now I'm going to get you and me underneath here. So, alright, if you see it, the oil filter is up at the back there. Well, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get an angle on this without getting oil on the camera. See what we can see. Alright. Now, it's just hand tight. They should only ever be hand tight, oil filters. When they're not hand tight, it means someone's done them up too tight. Oh fuck, we're leaking oil. Let's get into this. And get the camera away from the oil. And my phone getting covered in oil. Oh dear. Try and catch some of that. Did we get any oil on the camera? Got some on my phone. Not too much, I just wiped it off. Alright. That didn't go entirely as planned, nearly covered the camera in oil. Should have known really it was going to leak out there again. My fault, forgot. Right, should cut and let me clean up this mess and then I'll carry on and show you what else we need to do. We're just going to check, do by eye, make sure it's the same size, make sure the seals look the same, just make sure it's the same filter really. These two are. One's a Bosch, the one that was in there before was a Crosslands. I think a pretty budget, which I'm not too happy about. But yeah, just check the seal on the new one's good, no splits, no cracks, nothing too bad. And then we just take a little bit of oil from our old one. No one really knows if you actually have to do this. I do it because it can't hurt. Just put a little bit of oil around the seal, just so that rubber can seal nice, like that. I'm just going to jump underneath there and screw this on. You just same thing, put it in the same place, hand tight on. Simply because it's all a big oily mess down there now, so I can't really show you too well without getting the camera covered in oil. Put new oil in. This engine takes 5W20 oil and it needs 4.1 litres. We've got a 5 litre can here, so we're just going to take it. Just going to put 4 in there at first because the car's still on the level, and once we get it down, we'll properly check the dipstick and then top up a little bit here and there as needed. But we've got to remember, before we put the car down, we're going to drop the coolant as well. So I'm going to pour some of this in now. It has a filler neck, I think. Yeah. So this should make it a bit easier, but I would definitely recommend having a funnel. But I don't have one around here at all, so I'm just going to have to hope I make it. Right. Get in a nice spot. Right. There we go. So, seal in here. Now we're just above the 5, so we'll take it just above the 1. Ah, I spilled a little bit. Oh yeah, this is really thin oil. Never know with this one. see how we're doing. We've got about 3 litres in now. Still at 3 litres, getting the level. Three and a half. About 4 litres in there now. So we're just above the 1 litre mark. That's just about the 5 litre mark, or 4 litre mark, sorry, 5. Cap back on. Right, time to drop the engine coolant. Alright, now on to our next job. We're going to drain the radiator. I've had a look underneath there. I can't see if I can't find a tap or anything, so I'm just going to pull off the lower radiator hose. Seems like the easiest thing to do. Whilst you're up here though, you should always take the cap off the overflow, just because that'll help it drain better. Obviously, because it can suck air through the top, and as it drains out the bottom, rather than going glug 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 glug. So we're going to jump underneath there now. Get a pair of pliers and literally just pull the thing off. Make sure you have something underneath the car to catch this in though, because you shouldn't let this drain off into the floor as it is poisonous. We need a little bit of light, and I'll see if I can set you up on a decent angle again so you can see what I'm doing. Just get a pair of pliers. Loosen this hose off. Light up here so I can see what I'm doing. Let that drain again for 5 minutes. Right, we'll get back underneath it now and put this pipe on. On the pipe there is a little indent from where it sits on the radiator, so keep an eye out for that. I'm going to be pliers just done. Alright, we got it on. That was painful. Alright, just wipe off any excess. Really not good stuff to be getting on you. You should be careful as well if you get the stuff in your eyes. That will do damage. Yeah, we just wipe everything else off, mainly so we can see if there's any leaks once we fill it up again. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and get the car off the axle stands. It's pretty simple. Just jack it up from the subframe, move the axle stand, move it to the other side, jack it up, move the axle stand. And once we get it down, it'll be level, so we can start putting in fluids and check them all right. The car needs to be on a level surface, so all the readings of the fluids will be okay. And then we're going to start it up and start to bleed the cooling system. Whew. That was hard work. Okay, so we can start pouring some of this coolant in. I ended up having good Halfords because all my other part stores were out of coolant. It's not too bad. This car needs 5.8 litres. The main thing you want to do is make sure you just get the right type of coolant so you don't have any contamination problems. Just in case there's still a little bit that sits there in the block. I might pause this for 5 minutes whilst I try and figure out a funnel, because there's no way I'm doing this without one. Okay. Managed to get this little bottle, cut it in half. Should be better. Make it easier to pour anyway. Let's move you because I'm going to need to stand from the side. Let's open up this bottle. Yeah, this takes 5.8 litres, so this is a 5 litre bottle, so I'm going to try and empty as much as I can of this in there. And pump the pipes about a bit. If this will come off, there we go. Right, let's see how much mess we make. Radiator pipe. Yep. Right. Barely got half of that in there before it filled up. Okay, so just going to check the oil. Should have done that before. Just under the full line. So I'm going to drop a little bit in there, see how we go. Okay, I've let it sit now for 5 minutes. Let's see if I've overfilled it or not. $1 million question. That's spot on. Is that going to come out on the camera? Yeah, you see. Got to be between these two notches here. And we are perfectly bang on. Okay, so I've got to open the doors now. It's going to get noisy because we rained them and there's a road outside. Start it up and start to bleed this coolant system. Come on. When we're doing this, it helps to see what you can see in the light. Got the Radiator. So unfortunately the camera battery died somewhere in the middle of all that, but all I really did was keep topping up the system as it bubbled out and let all the air out the system. Just keep filling up until you hit the max mark. You'll reach maximum temperature, and then the fans will come on to cool everything down, and then as long as it stays at the max line, put the cap on, just keep an eye on it for a few days, make sure it doesn't go stupidly low just in case there is another partial air block in there somewhere. And just top it up if you need to. The oil, same thing again, let the engine sit for 10 minutes. Just double check the reading on the dipstick. Have a look underneath the car, make sure there's nothing leaking, no wet patches I've come across, and you should be good to go. Okay, so I'm going to finish the video off there. Engine oil changed, filter changed, and coolant changed, everything I wanted to do today. Like I just said, keep an eye on everything, make sure nothing drops below, make sure nothing's leaking, because you know that's the last thing you want is to lose all your coolant, your engine overheats. The same thing with your oil, you don't want to lose all your oil, make sure you have enough oil in there. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there, drive home. It's now dark outside, it's taken a few hours more than I thought. Right, peace.